All right, John Falstrom here, author of EADG 4, playing some blues. Today on April 23rd, 2012, I'm here at my studio, Melody Mart, Illinois. Melody Mart Music Store at Homewood, Illinois, 35 miles south of the Loop. And the great mighty Soldier Field. I say that every time as an intro, just so you know where I'm at. Tonight I want to talk about the fretless bass right here, and what I found, some things about the fretless. Playing blues here in Chicago, tend to play a lot of blues in the Sweet Home, Chicago, and with the fretless bass, it seems like the blues gives you that, I don't know, blues is it's an art form without a doubt. It's a lot. You can think of it as free form improv, because it's a lot more than three chords, and it's a lot deeper than it might appear with the three chords theory. There's a lot more to it than that, of course. But the fretless bass with blues, for something I found, with that you can hear it. It's got that wood, string on wood, of course. And the sliding into these notes. And that little kind of like crushing or whatever that noise is. That's actually the wood. The string vibrating off that wood. Gives it that slidey feel, so you can slide in and out of these notes in the blues. And it's a very big sound too with the fretless bass. You get a huge sound on the notes. And the fretless bass, you gotta get a good one, of course. The fretless bass. If you can get a fretless bass, you want it to be as good as you can for tone. Trust me, the quality of your instrument is huge. Eventually, you're gonna realize yourself too. This one is a 1983 Leo Fender made, George Fullerton G&L L2000. I think it's the first year he came out with it, and this guy goes back to 83. I've had him since then. This is known as Blueberry, obviously for his color. This name, maybe I got it from Blueberry Hill. Of course, it's a great fast domino. When I look at this bass, it's Blueberry. Blueberry's an original Leo Fender bass. Actually, he sent me a note when I bought this bass. I didn't get any instructions or anything, tools. So I sent G&L Leo Fender a note saying, "Dear sirs, blah blah blah. This is back in '83. Can I get the manual and stuff like that?" And here comes all the stuff back with a note, and he said, "Thanks," and something I can't remember, but it said Leo. So I treasure that moment in my history. Leo give me all the stuff I needed, and had a great little note for me. So this bass is very close to me, and I've used it over with the fretless bass. Obviously, is used in jazz quite a bit. Because of the history of the upright bass. Now, don't mistake the sound of a upright bass with a fretless bass, because they are completely different. The upright bass gives you that thunk. When you hit the upright bass, you get the thunk of the note from the body. The sound goes into the wood, it gives you that tunk. So don't think this replaces the upright bass. It really doesn't. It's just an electric fretless, and it's got its own sound. Sure, it's got no frets. I know you don't. If you're a beginner and you're watching this, you're going, "Oh my God, all I'm seeing is wood, a slab of wood," and that's okay. That's okay. But there are notes. The notes on a fretless bass are just like the notes on an electric bass. This would be like open A sharp, B flat, B, C, C sharp, D flat, D, and so on. The notes are laid out just like an electric bass. you got little dot markers here on the side, just like an electric. So you got your first dot markers, the 3rd fret, the 5th fret, the 7th fret, the 9th double, 15th, 17th, and 19th on this guy. So basically, you got the high E up here. So you basically got, I believe that's 19. You got 21 frets on this guy. You got the high E. So if you're a beginner or intermediate, and trust me, I know you're not seeing nothing. If you don't know the notes and the shapes, you're not going to really get any theory out of this, which is fine. This is really not a theory lesson, of course. It's the fretless bass itself and what it's great for. Besides jazz, it's great with jazz, trust me. But the upright bass, to get the original sound of jazz, you're gonna definitely want to play an upright bass. The fretless will, like I said, get you somewhat in the ball game, but you're gonna miss that big clunk of the bass going in the upright bass body. But the fretless bass is definitely can be used. I think to me it's a blues bass. I love it for playing blues because again you got that slides, and with the blue notes in blues. And if you don't worry if you don't understand this, it's a lot of kind of like clashing of notes. Two notes played together, kind of like. And I love that. I just happened to stumble across Blueberry here, the fretless in blues, by playing a lot of blues in Chicago. And the tone of a fretless bass playing traditional blues, R&B is great. I just want to point that out. Now, the fretless bass to learn on, if you're gonna switch to a fretless, don't think you're gonna be able to play an electric bass and you're real good at it, and right away go to a fretless and match that talent you have for a fretted. It's gonna take some time to adapt, because what happens with the fretless, you definitely your ear has to hear all the notes, because to make sure you're in tune. Especially with this one, it's got no lines, and these dots, although they're helpful, with your eyesight they're on an angle. So you're looking at your first dot like this, but your eyesight's going that way, so it's not giving you that straight. You don't have that straight fret line. So it's you gotta compensate for that and just kind of play right around there. And then, but a lot of the bass, the original fretless, I like the ones without the lines, by the way, because you use your ear. You learn how to play by ear a lot better. You have to hear every note you play and make sure it's somewhere either right on or very close, and then you get those little vibratos. Vibrato on the electric is you can either up and down, or you can wiggle it back and forth. So you got two ways. Electric. And of course the slides on fretless, you got all that great stuff, because there's no frets to separate the notes. You can hear the tone of this bass, or any fretless bass. You got that slide factor. That little pinch, kind of like that. That's the wood with the string. You're not going to get that on a fretted bass. The upright's got its own sound, as you can hear it, I believe. See that? And what you want to do to get good on a fretless is just practice everything you know on electric. Play your modes. If you don't know your modes and you're a beginner, just watch it, kind of check it out. There's a G major scale, and you got to get used to them. Check your octaves there. Put your first finger, your little finger for octaves. That sounds right on. So you kind of just, again, the big difference between a fretless bass too and a fretted bass is the use of your ear. You got to use your ear a lot more. You'll notice it. Because when I first started playing this guy, I was way out of tune because I was so used to fretted. When you play a fretted bass, you take things for granted that it's going to be in tune, and it is, because you got the frets. But with a fretless, you can't take anything for granted if it's going to be in tune, because your string might be a little flat or sharp while you're playing, and you got to adjust. So this is tremendous for your ear to play a fretless bass. Now with the ones with the lines, with the lines with frets which is wood, those are good too. Those are good, but it's really not playing a true fretless, because you got those lines which give you that parallel fret, and it's basically you're playing like with these. You use those as frets, so your eyesight is a lot better. You just pop them in there. Here you kind of like got to gauge the distance between the dots here on the side. So you kind of, the fourth fret's in here somewhere, and you kind of hear it, and you go with that. You always check with your octaves, harmonics. You tune, of course, with harmonics. You can't tune fifth fret because there's, you know, you have no idea what that fifth fret is exactly. Now you do, because you're perfectly in tune here. Here's your G, that's right in tune. It's right there. So you tune it with harmonics on a fretless bass. And then you can see where all your frets are. I'm just playing this so you can hear the tones on a fretless. Again, a fretless bass is a different beast than the electric bass, the fretted bass. This is like a whole nother different instrument because you can't take anything for granted. You got to use your ear a lot more, and there's no frets, so you got to get used to the sound. At first, this was a harder bass to play because I wasn't used to it, but now this becomes pretty easy. It's like you're skating around, kind of like being on ice here, and you just kind of float in between the pitches and hear them. And anyways, that's it for tonight. I just want to talk about the fretless bass and the tone and using it with, you know, blues. I use it here a lot with blues because I love the tone of it. Anything else? No. Today's April 23rd, 2012. I'm John Falstrom, author of EADG 4, and I'll see you next time, okay? Bye-bye.